back to the channel. Today what I'm going to be talking about is stop being a slave to money. And the reason I'm saying that, because I've noticed that a lot of my subscribers are becoming younger people. And I can't overemphasize this enough. Making a lot of money and not knowing how to manage it is guaranteed to put you right back where you started from. And the number one thing about financing is management. And if you never learn that, you'll never be able to keep that kind of money once you do acquire it. Now, a lot of people, even a lot of the older ones, really don't know how to manage credit cards. You know, credit cards are not a good thing and it's not a bad thing. It's basically a tool that you use to conduct your everyday life. But this is the way a credit card is designed to be used. It's designed for more or less people with money. So if you're lacking money, you really have no business using credit cards, because it's only going to make you a slave to that card. In other words, once you start acquiring products on this card, once you start using the card, basically, you're going to be in debt, a slave to that card holder, the one that's over that card. That's who you're going to be a slave to, because every day you work, you're working for that person to pay them back what you have borrowed. Because believe it or not, credit cards is not free money. And at some point, these people will tie up your whole life in order to make you pay them back what's theirs, money that you have borrowed from them. Now, the way a credit card is designed, like I said, is for somebody who has money already. For instance, if you want your everyday, every month expenditure to be about $500, money that you spend, for yourself, not necessarily money that you're spending for your bills and stuff like that. Now, whatever money that you have on a credit card, you need to have that much more money in the bank already saved. That's the way you get the benefits out of using a credit card. In other words, if you tally up a cost on a credit card of $500, you need to have $500 in the bank. Now, in order for you to get the best benefits out of using a credit card, that means every month that credit card has to be paid to a zero balance. If you just pay that small amount that they ask you to pay on that $500 balance, then you're paying that strictly toward interest. That has nothing to do with the money that you have borrowed. That's the interest that they are charging you for borrowing their money. Now, the way you get the benefit out of a credit card is that you pay that card off at the end of the month. So that requires that you are one of these type of people that are balanced. You don't just go buy stuff to impress other people. If you live your life trying to impress other people, you're always going to be in debt. Because, trust me, I know millionaires that don't buy the stuff that a lot of the poor people buy. Poor people buy name brand this and name brand that. Rich people, you may see them on TV with name brand this and name brand that, because they are advertising that product for the person who made that particular product. They're not buying it. The stuff that they have every day is not name brand stuff. Real millionaires do not waste money on trying to look good for the next person. If they have a $3,000 suit on, they're trying to impress somebody that would allow them to make more money. That's the only reason they have that on. It's a product to make money with, not something that they go out and buy just to impress other people. Rich people don't do that. Rich people don't go out and add massive amount of debt on credit cards and things of that nature. You know, they do use credit cards even though they have money. They use the credit cards to keep from tying up their money. But if something were to happen, you have to be able to pay that credit card all the way off. That will eliminate you of having a debt. You know, if something were to happen. That's why you have to have whatever you accumulate on a credit card in the bank already. That's a safety net. And the reason that you pay a credit card off every month is that you don't want to inquire any finance charges. If you pay it off every month, you have no finance charges. They don't charge you anything. You're just using their money and cycling them back over, and then starting the process over again. So that's the way credit cards are intended to use for people who already have money. Now, if you don't have any money, you have no business using the credit card because you're not able to pay that debt off at the end of the month. Now, that right there will keep you from being a slave to a person. And if you don't have the money, then by all means, learn to do without things. Because if you can learn to do without things, then you will be able to save up enough money to build up that nest egg so that you can at least build up 1,000. Then you got a expenditure of $500 a month. Okay, then you can pay that $500 off at the end of the month and then start saving up again in order to add that $500 back. You always want to continue to put more in than that's going out of your bank account. That's the only way you're going to make it. The only way that you're going to be able to financially move ahead, you got to learn how to manage your money. And a person that don't know how to manage their money will soon find themselves back at zero. So I can't overemphasize this enough. You know, everybody wants to move up and have that that comfortable life. Now, if you're one of those people that always want people to look at you, and you'll be like a lot of people that I know that live like that. They have a lot of expensive cars, expensive clothes. I mean, they look like they have $1 million, but they barely can go buy a McDonald's dinner. So, looking like you got $1 million and having $1 million is two different things. Now, the one that don't look like he had $1 million is normally the ones that have money. They don't have that slavery type thing going on. They're not enslaved to somebody else's money, because as long as you owe somebody, you are enslaved to that person. You are a slave to that person because every dime you make is geared toward paying that person back what you owe them. So you've been bought. So you're a slave. So in order to keep from being a slave, you let these things that they have help you, but at the same time, protect yourself from them. And the quickest way to get in trouble is using a credit card without having money. If you have to have a house, that's something you can't help. You're going to be enslaved to that if you just can't buy the house. But as far as everything else, cars and things of that nature, you know, I know a lot of people that get $7,000 and $8,000 back from income taxes. You know, depending on your living conditions, your kids and stuff like that. Now, rather than that person go and buy them a real good used car and pay for it, they'll go and get the car on credit and pay a car note. And they really can't afford the car note, but they're using the rest of the money to go buy Jordan. They're always increasing Jordan's bank account. They're always making Jordan richer for buying those products. Nike for buying those products. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all that old expensive stuff that a lot of people buy. I mean, my thing is that I'm not rich by no means. But anything that I want to buy my old lady, I don't care name brand or not, I can buy it and pay for it cash with no problem, because I do not acquire unnecessary debt. Therefore, when I do make money, I have the money to be able to do what I need to do and pay what I need to pay. And that's the position that you always want to be in. You always want to be ahead of the game and not the game be ahead of you, because that way you get used and you look like you got $1 million. You fool a lot of people, but over time it catches up with you, and the life that you live, won't be good. So I don't want to move up to have to move back down. And that's what I want to talk to y'all about. I know it's totally different from what I normally talk about, but I kind of feel like that if I don't tell you, I don't know who else will. Because it's like I said, living a healthy, fruitful life doesn't always have to do with just lifting weights. Because you can stress yourself so bad until you don't have enough energy or able to hold any kind of weight, because all the worry is going to push all that weight off you. So living a life that's more conservative and you having more money later on is by far the better way to live. Living these flamboyant lives, trying to impress this girl, trying to impress that girl, you may impress them for a moment, but trust me, it's short-lived. It's short-lived. And the thing about it is that once you get used to money, it's like an addiction. You'll be willing to start doing anything for money. Then you'll start stealing. Then you'll start conniving people. Then you'll start getting over and stuff, rather than dealing with business with a type of honor, because you have your own power, because you're not indebted to the world. So anyway, I'm starting to ramble off again, but that's what I want to talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.